Hey, what's up, everybody? Trying to figure something out here, and I can't do it. Oh well. Almost missed the beginning of this, paying attention to what I was trying to get ready, but oh well. What's up, guys? What's up, Doe's Tacos? What's up, Pudgy? What's up, Large? Um, get this. No, don't do that. Yeah, all right. Ready to go. I was all day long I've been working, or not all day long. All day long I was working, but Aaron came over, and I think we spent about 3 hours trying to get my website set up, the website set up so I could get like items that have been sitting around here forever listed, and we finally did. The only thing is we didn't quite finish figuring out all the details of shipping, so right now everything on the website is only local, which greater Akron area if I could ride my bike to deliver to you, or US. So it's even taken away the options for other stuff that I used to just ship flat rate because everything's tied to this new app. Whatever, long story, boring. But the whole goal is to hopefully tomorrow get it added to Canada, because I know we have a lot of people who watch from Canada. And then after that, to figure out the international thing, it just takes time. It's just like some of that stuff you have to mess with. So, but we did get at least it set up for the US. There's a couple things that are kind of limited. So if you're interested, whatever, a couple shirts that are kind of limited and stuff. But other stuff that we'll make more of. So if you're not in the region, but yeah, on the website, I I know I have it listed. A link here. I'll drop a link. But yeah, so now we have shirts that Micah have screen printed. So some of the industrial gravel shirts, I just have a few of those. Most of those are for sale actually at Dirty River. So if you're local, you could just go into Dirty River and buy those. But they are the hand screen printed version. Some Fitzwater photography shirts for my photography business in red and blue. I've only ever sold them in white and black. And then we finally got the Gravel Badass shirts up. I know that's not on the screen there, but yeah. So these are really cool. I really like Micah's design. So we they're finally available in the U.S. And we have a whole run of size on the Gravel Badass from extra small, I think, to double, yeah, to double XL. Our shirt company didn't have triple XL, so only up to double XL. So yeah. And then the other, oh yeah, I guess the other new thing with those would be, we have the Slam Beers, Not Stems, which came about with Rick Urbanowski and Micah helping me design this. So I think Erin even, yeah, when she wrote the description, even included Rick in there. And, oh yeah, and then the other new thing is this machine kills fascist stickers that are much smaller, so they will actually fit on like a top tube in like a much smaller way. We're sold out of the big ones anyways, and then Gravel Badass stickers in a couple sizes. You know, one like phone case, and then, one that would be like top tube. Yeah. So if anyone's interested in that stuff, it's up for U.S. or local delivery right now, and then hopefully tomorrow and by early next week. Tomorrow Canada, early next week. The rest once I figure out international shipping. It's so stupid expensive, so it's almost not worth ordering T-shirts from me if you're in Europe, but I'll put it up so that option exists, and hopefully figure out how to get the stickers back up, because I just put international stamps on those if it's international, and if it's local, I just put a stamp, so there's no shipping cost for stickers. But anyways, wanted to get that out of the way, and I'm glad we finally got that up. Oh, Erin said it was 4 hours worth of work. There she is. What's up? Oh, what's up, Dylan? What's up, Raymond? And thanks, Doze Tacos, for the compliment on the videos. Yeah. Well, Pudgy, like everything too, everything I talked about on Tuesday shipping out, the contest winner, party size, stickers for new channel members, and for you will all go out tomorrow, because I'm heading down towards the post office for a photo shoot tomorrow, so everything will be going out then. And if any orders come in tonight, they'll go out tomorrow as well. So yeah, Erin will bill me for the 4 hours accordingly. I need to point this camera's pointed a little high, a lot of space. I was adjusting everything down here. Move the mic so it's not so in front of my face. Tried to bring the camera a little closer with the wide angle lens, so, but now it's pointed a little too high. Let's see if I could adjust it. That's a little better framing. So I think, is my autofocus actually working today? Nope, this camera's still on the way out, but yeah, $3,500 webcam. Hey, what's up, Bradley? How's it going? Sorry for that noise. I had to adjust that. Smokes will collect the payment. Yeah, Smokes will bite it right out of me. Excuse me. Still have this cough. I know, like I said, I got this cough in the time that it's just going to follow me all winter now. It doesn't even feel like it's kind of clearing up. But, oh yeah, there's the Smokes. So, I gotta go back to that. Did get out riding last night. Me and Large went out, just rode out and got dinner. Nothing super far. I mean, I think I got 24 miles in, but it was the first, it was like 32, 34, I think. It was nice last night because the temperature didn't drop. So it was like, I think it was actually 34 when we left and 34 when I got home like a few hours later. But like I've been saying, we had all that nice weather. We just didn't get the chance to get used to like the cold weather this year yet. And so now this weekend is going to be lows in the 20s. And it's like, man, now I mean, I still have this cough, but I'm feeling better. But man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to ride in 20-degree weather yet. So yeah, because Saturday morning is Yeti's on the loose, and I want to go do that. But I guess they planned a shorter route just in case it's too cold for everybody. Because I don't think it's going to get over, what, 30 on Saturday here? I know I looked at the weather last time, but I want to see what it's been updated to. And tomorrow is Akron Bike Party, but I'm wondering how cold that's going to be. Because it doesn't ride. Akron Bike Party is so chill that it might be too cold to do it. Yeah, it's 29 degrees right now, so let's see what they're saying. Friday, 33. Real feel 18 degrees. Yeah. The night low is 22. Yeah, I want to look at the long hourly. Yeah, winterizing is necessary for sure. You just got to get used to it, man. Where's my hourly? Yeah. Oh, there we go. Looks like we're going to have some trolls tonight, huh? Okay, not horrible. 10 a.m. on Saturday will be 27 degrees if it sticks to that. Noon, 30 degrees. Still cold for not being used to it, unfortunately. So, yeah. I actually hope we get the snow. I'd almost rather do like a snow ride than just a cold ride. You know, I need to pull down. I did like clean up my winter bike really good before I put it away last year, but I need to pull it out and uh, need to pull it down, make sure everything's lubed, make sure the tires are holding air, make sure I have the right tools to work on it when I'm out on the road, get the bags put on it. But I wonder why it won't let us block this dude for good. Huh. I don't know how this person could keep creating the same name and popping back in. I've removed him from the channel. Whatever. What a loser. Could you imagine spending your time doing something like that? Like, this is what this person is doing with their evening. Like, what a loser. Man. I mean, it's probably like 15 years old, hopefully, but or hopefully younger. I mean, I think I trolled stuff when I was like 12, and then you're like, okay, I'm actually gonna go and have a life now and do stuff. But yeah, when you're stuck in your bedroom at your parents' house, maybe that's who this person is. Oh yeah, speaking of cold weather riding, so I was looking too at Pixel Wolf and Robin. They got out and like they already have a bunch of snow out there in Minneapolis. Yeah, it's already fat bike season out there. So I don't think it'll be too long till we're getting this. Did you guys see that if you're local to here, the Cleveland Browns game was supposed to be in Buffalo on Sunday, and they've already preemptively moved the whole entire thing to Detroit because they're supposed to get feet of snow in Buffalo. So Anywho. There is a way for me to keep people from like writing so many messages, which would slow this person down, but I can't remember how to do it. Yeah, I know. Well, I guess with the Joseph, you said you're in Clinton, right? Yeah. I guess they're honoring the tickets in, but if you're in Buffalo, I mean, you have to drive to Detroit. I mean, as a Cleveland fan, I guess that makes it easier, right? But there we go with the question to get me going. So, Reynolds versus Columbus Steel, what's superior and why? I don't know. I mean, people debate that. I don't even. I don't. I wouldn't be able to tell. I think like top of the line Reynolds and top of the line Columbus are probably even. You know. So I know there's people who have a true opinion on that, but I don't think it's probably that. I don't think it's probably that big of a deal. I have Reynolds 531 bikes and I have a Columbus SLX bike, and I mean to say that I could tell the difference, I wouldn't be able to. What's up, Nathan Mays? How's it going? And Raymond, yeah, what I don't understand preemptively canceling football games. I've never seen that. I even with baseball when they were canceling the what was that uh, I still want to say Indians the Guardians games. I'm just like, what's the why for rain? I'm like, you watch what like bike racing takes place in, and you're like, people can't play baseball, and then they talk about injuries, and yeah, that's what like with football, it's like they play football in the snow, but this year, but for some reason, they're canceling this one beforehand. Why not wait and see what happens? I don't get it. Like I don't. Oh, Bradley, you said dropping in the 30s tonight in New York. Not ready for this. Yeah, it seems like out east it stayed warm a little longer, right? Because I saw like Ronnie was riding in Connecticut when it already dropped here, and they were showing like 70 degrees. So you guys got a little bit of a break compared to us. So let's see if I can go behind the scenes and figure out how to stream settings. I wonder if this person knows too that like all their comments actually bump me up in the algorithm. So probably not. I can't remember where that is. There is a way to like not let people chat over and over again, but I can't remember where it is. 25 in Denver, light snow. Oh yeah, that's not surprising. I think we're getting snow tonight. I don't know if it's going to be enough to stick, but I thought that I saw that it was supposed to start snowing here any minute. Oh no, now it says no precipitation. Yeah. Oh, it looks like it went north. Why do you win? You bump me up in the algorithm. That's how you win. I think I'm winning. There we go. Oh, then I also saw that Baron dropped that picture of his New Brompton. Has anyone ever ridden? I know Rick had a small, cheap folding bike. Is that anyone ever ridden a nice one? I always hear they actually ride amazingly well. When we were in Albany, the one bike shop we stopped in first, they had a bunch of folders, and like the lady who I think owned the shop was talking about how she rides it everywhere and could bring it on the train and all that. And I was saying if I lived like out east or somewhere with good public transportation, I could definitely see having one. It's just around here, there's almost no need for it. And with my car, I could fit my whole bike in there without even taking the wheels off. But I always wonder what these things feel like. I've heard my dad had a couple really cheap ones. I posted an Instagram story. Someone gave him one, and I pedaled around on it, and like I think he's going to take it when he goes on vacation. But it didn't feel that bad. But I'm assuming Bromptons are much nicer than super cheap folders. Oh yeah, that's the next thing I wanted to mention too. Is if you guys were watching the other day, I gave away some of these MODL Infinity tools. Uh, I know a lot of you were watching. They're basically similar to the lay straps, but kind of have a different function because they're stretchy, and you could daisy chain them together, and you could also set them up so that the no metal will touch your bike. So I gave we did a contest, and they went to channel members who were watching. Party Size Cycling won that. Uh, so I did end up doing, where is it? One for all the members, because channel members don't have to be watching to have a chance to win, and they sent me a bunch of sets. So when Aaron was over, so I had a witness, we did put all the channel members' names in. Oh yeah, my autofocus isn't working, but you'll have to trust me on this. Ryan Hugh is the one who won. So it's kind of convenient for me. like I'm said, Aaron was here. She watched me. Only spun it once, but it does save me on the shipping because Ryan lives here in Akron. So, so yeah, Party Size won one set. Ryan Hugh won the second set. Those are the members' ones. And then I want to give away one tonight to anyone who's watching. And me and Aaron were trying to think of the contest, and I was talking to like Jay Dandy at the end of the last stream. I want to make it a map contest, so I'm trying to think of what the question needs to be, and it would be like the closest person to where it is on the map would win. So I need to figure that out so we could do one more giveaway for these Infinity tools. And I guess I can't solicit ideas for the contest because then that would mean someone would know the answer. Unless you have a general question that would be personal to me. If anyone could think of anything, help me out. Mono Lake said, get out the stationary bike and throw some gravel on the floor. How large? Did you figure out a way to stop burgles? I thought they would just keep creating new accounts or whatever. Pull up a random zoomed in location on the map. Oh, what if we did that and I slowly, because we did that with something else, like a mountain bike trail, and we slowly started zooming out. So I pull up a random location on the map. And as I start zooming out, it's the first person to guess where it is, do you think? So, what's up, Cheesy Rider? What up, Micah D? Cheesy, I saw your email today, but me and Aaron were working on the website stuff, so I haven't had the chance to really look at it. So I'll get back to you on that tomorrow. But I did see it. I didn't want to reply till I actually had a reply. But I will get back to you. Pronounce it Albany, New York. Get out the stationary bike and throw gravel on the ground. I kind of do want to like I said, like Party Size was doing the group rides on the trainer. I do kind of want to set up my trainer this year. I don't know, because and my mood will probably change, but with the shift in the cold weather, I just, man, I'm not really feeling it that much. But yeah, like I said, last night's riding was fine. I mean, uh, you know, but 30s are just different than 20s, in my opinion. That's like where my tolerance changes. I mean, I ride in the 20s, and I've even ridden in the low 20s and high teens, but high teens is when it starts to become not fun to me. Uh, like, I just don't have enough time before, no matter what I'm wearing, I'm going to feel like uncomfortable. But yeah, 30s, you get used to real quick. Like, even last night, I didn't really feel cold. Like, going out and even setting up our bike after we had a bite to eat wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, once it starts to get into the mid 20s and that first mile, your face just hurts and all that stuff. So, oh, Pudgy, you're going to ride your bear claw through the winter? That's one way I think to stay more motivated is to put snow tires on a bike you really like riding. I don't mind riding my old truck mountain bike, especially since I put the Surly corner bars on it. It just feels a little better, but it's still never going to be the same. Wait, Raymond's saying you pronounced it Albany in New York. We pronounce it Albany. Oh, Albany? Albany. Albany. Oh, large. Albany. Albany, New York. Albany. Huh. Albany. Something I've never thought about. I guess I've just always just said it the way I say it. Yeah. Now, you had a felt like 21 on your ride home tonight? Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. Ah. All bunny. Oh, like all like funny. Yeah, large commutes year round, even in the I think it, no matter what, but you have a pretty like a short route you could take, right? Well, it's not that far no matter what, but yeah, I always feel like when it's say like 25 or below that no matter what, like that like I just feel that cold on my forehead and there's that just like I think it's about a mile. It's like a mile or about 10, 15 minutes where you just have to get moving enough for your like face to warm up and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, Pudgy, you have a pretty short commute. Yeah. Cheesy Rider said, "High teens, you're tougher than I am." Yeah, there's a lot of times when it's in the teens, and I'm just like, nope. And then there's other times where we do it anyways, like on Wednesday nights, like the group ride. If it's in the teens and it's pretty rideable, we've still done it. Like I know a couple years ago, well, I guess it would have been before 2020 now. Maybe it was 2019. We always do a Christmas ride, and I think that night it was in the mid-teens. I think we had one where it was like 12 or 13, right, Large? The time we went up into one of the old BF Goodrich factory buildings and rode around up there. But we did do I think we went out to Magic City. So pretty much the ride me and Large did last night. I added a little on the end, but I think a 20-mile ride, so 10 miles in each direction before we stopped in and got a drink and got warm. But those nights, it is so hard to get back out on the road. When you go riding and stop somewhere, when I just picture those nights where you walk out or we walk into the restaurants, if you have a beard, it's like covered in ice and all that stuff. And then just even from your breath. And then, yeah, you get warm, you drink a couple drinks, and then you walk back out there, and it's just brutal. It's almost better leaving my house because when I'm leaving my house, I'm doing everything to get ready. So I'm like usually overdressed and then like getting the bike together. So you build up some heat and then you go riding, and there's like a period where that heat wears off. You get real cold, but then you build up the heat from riding. And I think that also happens faster with studs and stuff like that because you're riding a slower bike that you put more effort into. But yeah, the worst thing is when we go out somewhere and have some drinks and then have to go back out in the really cold weather. So Raymond said, "How do you keep your feet warm? That's your biggest problem." That's, I think, my feet are my limiting factor. So like, it's hard for me to remember because we're just getting back into winter. But I think like that's where when it's below 25, I think I have an hour in me. Like no matter what, like I don't have anything that'll keep my feet warm beyond that. I've tried the hot hands that you could put in your shoes, but they don't get enough oxygen to actually keep anything warm because those things to work well, like when you have the hot hands in your pockets, which I do sometimes too, just to have them on me. Um, they need air. And so when I've put them in the shoes, those ones that stick, they haven't done anything. What I do is I wear like a long pair of 45 North wool socks, and then I wear one pair of thicker socks over that. And then I have my 510s, which are winter 510s. They're not super crazy warm boots, but like I said, that'll get me an hour. So like, say a little over a 10-mile ride before they start to get really cold. Hopefully, if we stop somewhere, it's enough to warm up. But yeah, I just find that it's limiting. And I showed the gloves I wore last on Tuesday, but like wearing the wool defeat gloves with some lobster gloves over that, same thing. When it gets really really cold, I find there's just a time limit. I could just be out for only so long, and I'm gonna end up cold in my hands and feet, and that's just something that I just I'm not going to go for a super long ride when it gets that cold. Anyways, that's my. She's excuse. Need a car. I don't want to cough into the mic. I'm sorry about that. I would be packing a portable propane heater to stop and warm up. Last year, what did Pudgy say? 45 North Ragnaroks for longer rides. Ragnaroks. What are those socks to keep your feet warm? Or are those boots? Yeah, like you said, shorter rides I just suffer. I'm definitely on board with just getting out to get out for a little while and, hopefully warming up for a bit. I did start to throw on, I didn't used to like throw on any heavier clothes, like not heavier, but now I will throw on like my down jacket for a while, knowing that I'm going to take it off because in almost any weather, it's going to get too hot. Oh, those are like real serious cycling. It's another thing too. I know there are like much warmer boots, and I know Otis has some of those like really heavy duty ones. But it also comes to the point where I don't think I'm going to ride enough in that cold of weather to make the expensive purchases on even warmer shoes. It's like at that point, like I said, if I could get an hour ride out on like the cold days like that, that's good enough. I'm not such a serious. I mean, like I love to ride my bike. I want to get out in all weather, but I do have a limit where I'm just like, no. Like I said, I've always said high 30s, low 40s, and rain. I'm just not going to go out and ride my bike. I don't want to be in that stuff. I don't. You know, I do have a car. So and I will drive it to work in those kind of situations, or over to my, family's house if we're getting together. Oh, Nathan, you're 18 miles one way for work. The love of riding keeps you warm. Yeah. Bradley's Albany. Hey, what's up, Grand Subject? Said battery powered heated socks or Sunday paper plastic bags over socks. The plastic thing in your shoes does work, and you could even do that with your hands. Even like sandwich making bags will keep your hands pretty warm. The only thing I worry about is sweating then, because wearing the, and I know that sounds counterintuitive with being that cold, but I just worry about getting clammy in there, and I don't know. And I know people do foil over their toes as well. Foil is supposed to work. So, but do they make pedals with snow boot ski clips? Well, just I think one of the things is just going flat pedals and really warm boots if you really want to stay out there in the cold weather, which they do make a bunch. Like we pulled up the ones Pudgy showed for clipless, but they also do make flat pedal boots that are really warm. Yeah, I know, Pudgy. We do need to get a winter ride in, and like I said, either some of you guys getting up this way or me coming down that way, I'd be about it. Especially. Like I always said, I've said a bunch of times. There's those nights where we ride the towpath, and there's been like a few inches of snow, and it's not like super super cold, and you're out there and say even like the moon's out, and you don't even need your headlights on, and there's nobody else out on the trails. Like there are certain times when I'm out there and I really dig winter riding. Um, you know, and especially since I got the studded tires a few years ago, to just that extra bit of confidence I like. But there are times when I'm out there and I'm like, this is beautiful. We have the whole entire thing to ourselves. So come down for the Grove City Christmas Parade early December. Oh, nice. Yeah, you have to send me a DM about the dates and everything. Nathan, you said you bought a cool new pair of Adidas vegan shoes with SPD. Huh. So is Adidas making? Because Adidas is who owns 510, right? Do they also make their own branded bike shoes? Oh yeah, I guess I did see those. Didn't Dustin Klein wear them in a video? Yeah, let me know the dates, Pudgy, because yeah, there are certain things coming up in December that I have to work, but so it just depend. Yeah, yes to both. Gotcha. Oh, Aaron dropped a picture of the bean in the stream updates, so she wanted to bring the bean over to help us work on the website today, but I figured we let this cat go in the studio and it decides it's going to freak out, and then we would be searching for the whole entire evening trying to find her. She's a wild one, so I'll see the kitties tomorrow night, hopefully. Oh yeah, I still need to figure out the contest. What time is it? Yeah, 9:35. It'd be a good time to do the contest. Not Kanye's. Nice, Raymond. I actually just watched Chappelle's Saturday Night Live intro today. That was pretty funny. I was surprised he got criticized for it. I didn't think there was anything that was that controversial there. But anyways, not going to go down that path. Heritage Cycle might have it on their calendar thing. And Cheesy Rider, the Christmas light thing for sure. There's usually I just see them from riding my bike on my own. And I think the last couple years, I've thought of making a Christmas lights video. I haven't quite figured out how to do it, but I thought it'd be cool, like exactly what you're saying, Christmas lights from the bike. But Akron Bike Party, um, they December one, they usually do plan it to go like around Stan Hewitt, which is the mansion that the founder of Goodyear lived in here in Akron, and they light it all up in the winter. And they do like a whole West Akron where there's a bunch of kind of still big houses over there. So I've done that. It's been a few years since I think my schedule just hasn't lined up with the December bike party, but it is fun to go and like see them that way, especially with the light snow falling or something like that. So And you don't even really, that's the whole thing with that, your bike pace, especially winter bike pace, you don't even need a pullover. You just take everything in as you go by. So, come down to Grove City and do a footy of it. Yeah. I, I've been to Grove City. Is Heritage Cycles must be the bike shop there? Yeah, because we stopped in there. They had a couple cool bikes, but on our way back after the first year we did Ohio to Erie, me, Aaron, and Ben went to the brewery there on whatever, if their main street is called Main Street, I can't remember. But yeah, I got the map up. Where's Jay Dandy? Oh, I don't have the map up here. So what is the name of that brewery? Is it not open anymore? I felt like it was right on. Oh, is it Hop Yard 62? Must be, right? Yeah, what in Heritage Cycles is right around the corner from there? Because I know we walked over there. We went to the brewery, then we walked over to the bike shop. Let's see. Oh, right there. Okay. Yeah, they were a cool shop. The guys were cool. They were working on the bikes. Oh, so Hop Yard wouldn't be the brewery because it was down the street a little bit. On this side of the road. Hmm. Oh, that's a 45-minute drive for you over to there? Oh, yeah, I guess it's a little farther than I would have guessed. But yeah. You have to zoom in real close to get Mechanicsburg to show up on a map. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Cheesy Rider. I think that's why we ended up there because we were kind of driving back the route after riding it. It isn't that far from the, well, London's over here. So London and Grove City. So yeah. I need to pick a spot. I need to pick a spot on the map that we're going to do the contest from. I need to do a trial run to know how long before. Ah, see, the city name's going to appear pretty quick. I guess I could pick a city that has like a mundane name that people wouldn't know about. It should have some cycling association, right? Pick Mechanicsburg. What's up, Jay Dandy? Let me think. What's something that would be? And something that would be that I know there's not really anyone that I know of in the chat that would know it right off the rip. Well, when the city names appear, that's not going to work. That kind of that contest won't work. I need a different no offense, Marge. I need a different idea because the city is what you're going to guess and the name's going to appear as I zoom out on the map. Knocker stiff. Pick Nuckmade County and I'll sit out. What's like a good map based question I could ask? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. We've done little contests or just even for the heck of it like this before. I even think when I say something personal, I've repeated everything so many times that Large and Pudgy would have such an unfair advantage over everybody if I was like, where in France did I go to watch a bike race? I think, I want it to be fair. So, no, Bradley, Pudgy's saying that because he would know right away what it looked like. Trying to think of something that would be good bike related that I could just like a question I could ask. I guess that the map wouldn't really matter, but I'd pull up the map. This is good content, right? As I sit here fumbling for an idea for a contest. I'll think about it while we chat. Oh, I got a good one. If I think I've got a good one. Random street view and the closest wins. That's not a bad idea. I was thinking of, since Yonda's not in the chat right now, we had a discussion last night, but then I guess it would go down to the quickest Googler if I asked the question I was thinking. So I'm not going to use it because I just realized people could just Google it, so I don't like that idea. But me and Yonda were trying to, so it could be something like this, I guess. But me and Yonda last night were wondering because we were talking. I brought one of these in to show him, and we were talking about where valet straps are from, and so the because valet is kind of like a French name. It turns out they're actually made in Salt Lake City, and the company's in Salt Lake City because they're a ski company first. Yonda was telling me this stuff. They sell skis, and valet straps are originally designed to hold skis together because how tough they are. They won't get cut by the ski's edge, and that's why they work really well for bags. But that's what I'm thinking, Cheesy Rider. Like naming an event. Like I'm thinking like one of my, if I was like, where does my favorite race take place or something like that. Sheldon Brown Shop. Yeah, isn't Sheldon Brown Shop on the East Coast? Yeah. Heaven. Let me look at the map and see if something strikes my. I won't do it while I have it up here. Okay, I think I got it. I'm zoomed in real close on a bridge in a big city. Oh, wait, I could see the name of it there because of the ferries. See if I could find something where it doesn't show that, where I could get the right. Who is messaging me? Oh, this is Shippo. The company I'm using to ship everything is still sending me messages about what's up. Dang, there's still a name on here. Let me find a spot without the name. Sheldon Shop was in Newton Highlands, Massachusetts. All right, yeah. I knew it was, how do you spell it then? Valet? Voile? Yeah. Yeah, Sheldon site. They still add to Sheldon site. I still use it as a resource. So what do you say? It's 9:48 at 9:51 on my iPhone. Or maybe I should do a countdown. So everyone has to type in we have a fair countdown. I there's still seeing the name in a hotel. Let's see. This is an imperfect contest, but we're going to try it. I have a section on the map pulled up. It's a river through a city, and it'll just be the first one to guess the city wins. Whoever types it in first. Yeah, I'll pull up a timer. And this is for 4 of these, so two oh yeah. This is going to be hard for you, Pudgy. That's for sure. So it'll be for 2 of the long Infinity tools and 2 of the short ones. So, like I said, I love these things. I'm not even doing this to, like, I use them nonstop. So I think they're super cool. No one guess yet. It won't count until the timer goes off. Until the picture is up is what it'll be. So. First. How many people are watching? So I have 29 people are watching. That just gives me an idea. All right, so I got a timer of 1 minute up. And when this is up, I'm going to pull up the city. The map will just show up. And then whoever can guess what city this is first. And if it's taking people a while, I'll give a hint. I said the first hint, and you'll see on the map, it's a city with a river running through it. And there'll be clues on the map. It'll just be about all reading. I can't get a perfect thing, so. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. No guesses? Oh, there's a delay. That's right. There'll be a delay for you guys before I see your responses come through because I'm. No on Philly. No other guesses? All right, I think I'll give a hint since no one else is guessing. This is where historically my family is from. The name is actually on the screen in a landmark. Large would probably get it if it was a satellite view. I'll switch to satellite view. Ah, Cheesy Rider got it. Cheesy Rider is the winner. This is Budapest. Budapest, as my grandma would pronounce it, Hungary. You guys were too not quite quick enough. Yeah, there was the one landmark that I didn't realize till the last second. The church over here that was called Budapest Pesti, if that's how you pronounce it. I only ever learned a couple Hungarian words. But my family was so Budapest is actually was two different cities. Buda on one side, Pest on the other side, and it grew into one city. And my family is from I can't remember the name, but a small town that was enveloped by the bigger city on the Pest side. So oh, Bradley, you wait. Who said they were in? Oh, Bradley, you were in Budapest. No way. Oh, Cheesy Rider, this contest was for everybody. I already gave away two to channel members. So the one I did live on Tuesday was for channel members, and then the one that's going to Ryan Hugh that me and Aaron did when she was over. So yeah, this was for everybody else. Some of us had to exit out of the chat. Oh, Cheesy Rider, since you emailed me, when I respond to you, you could just you could send your address at that point. Oh, Kuva means bitch in Hungarian. Yeah, I ended up working the sweet corn farm I worked on forever. They were a family that was Hungarian, so. Largest comment got me. Little known fact: Hungary used to be right next to full. There is a Kutiva is how that's pronounced. Oh, nice, Bradley. You were on a tour. Had a great cup of coffee at Kern Collective. Nice. Little known fact: Hungary used to be right next to full. Uh, what was I going to say? Or not anymore, but there was a Hungarian bike company that made nice road bikes. I've seen one in person. I can't remember what the name of that company was. Not Zeus, right? Huh. Google search isn't helping me out, but I thought there was a good vintage bike company that were. Hmm, I could have this up here. Hmm, can't remember. Anyways. Oh, Zeus was a Spanish component company. That's right. Did you? There was that really pretty Zeus at Nutmeg last year. Do you remember that, Pudgy? I was talking to the guy who owned it. Yonda was going off today still about the straggler. I think I started the contest. I was talking to Marge last night, and I was like ignoring the last half where Yonda started going off about the straggler not being a great bike, and like Large was saying, it's like a budget space horse. Like it's a it's a good bike. It just wasn't like, like you were saying. The person said, who was that? They were looking for a bike that was a jack of all trades, and he was just saying that it might not be the perfect bike for that, but it's not a bad bike by any means. But yeah, I guess Large was saying that Yonda went off for all day yesterday and apparently today as well. So Cheesy Rider asked, "Is Europe mostly road riding, or do they have trails?" Yeah, both. If you check out Pathless Pedaled channel, Pathless Pedaled, they were just in Girona, Spain, and they did a bunch of gravel riding. Um, yeah, there's a lot of gravel in Europe too. A lot of farm roads. Even some of the professional races, they've been doing gravel segments. Like Italy, they have the Strada Bianca, the white roads, which are really really cool, beautiful stuff. There in the what's the name of that region of Italy where they have Strada Bianca? My God, what's the name of that city that they end in at the Citadel? Drawing a blank. But yeah, all kinds of stuff in Europe. Yeah, even in the mountains. Like last year during the Women's Tour de France, Taylor Phinney was working as a domestique for his girlfriend Cassia Nuodoma, and he was like taking gravel cuts between the roads so he could get up there and pass out water bottles. It was really really cool. So, hey, what's up, Paul? Good evening from England. Yeah, what's up, Chris? Yeah, I think it's changing just like everywhere. I think road culture has been dominant for a long time in England, in Europe in general, England as well. But just like everywhere, gravel is catching on, and there's more and more of that. Um, yeah, like Pudgy was saying, stragglers are great bikes. They just don't have tons of clearance, and I think that's what most of us were saying is if you're building a bike that's a jack of all trade, it was a little limiting in that way. Not that it's not a good bike, except Yonda, he was saying that, but most of us don't agree. Oh yeah, Yellowbird rode his single speed on the long nutmeg, which was insane. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Blake? How's it going? Tuscany? Yeah. What's is that the region? I'm trying to think of that city that they finish in, where they have that famous festival with the horses. How do I just continue without agreeing? There we go. I don't want this. Yeah, this for anyone who has never seen it. This gives you an idea. The whole thing isn't on
Blake
this
and a
white
bird
gravel,
super
but
chatted $1.
uh, thanks, Blake. Just to super chat, you have to type in the message first. Everyone has told me this, so it'll actually read off the message if you type it in first. But I still appreciate it. Oh, Jay Dandy, it was snow. There was snow at Brandywine. I saw Cleveland had had snow, but oh, that's what you're saying, Pudgy. Honda could go ride 80 plus miles with Brian and learn what a straggler can do. Yeah, what would you guys recommend? So, A budget jack of all trades. I mean, to get real budget, what State Bicycles makes some pretty affordable bikes, but were you guys telling me that the quality of some State bikes can be a little suspect? Was it State? Fairdale, right? Fairdale makes some pretty good budget jack of all trades. Nathan Mace, so Strada Bianca Strada Bianca started as a LaRocca event, and it still is, but it turned into a professional race, and now it's a full-on world tour event. So, need steel bikes with clearance in England. We seem to have really wide choice over here. Yeah, but I guess my gravel bike is a rally, but that's it's kind of rally in name only. It's not like it's actually made in England anymore. But Poseidon Bikes makes great starter bikes. Yeah, I also say go used, and there is like depending on how much you want to be involved in the process, there is the whole like everyone talks about '90s mountain bike thing, or um, like the hybrid bike thing and putting drop bars on it to save a lot of money. You know, you can get an old, Trek 950 and put some drops on it. I assumed in England it wouldn't be hard to get gravel bikes. I thought anywhere, but I mean, obviously you can order stuff online. But I assumed that all the most shops, unless they were die-hard roadie shops, would be stocking gravel bikes. Because even watching GCN, you know, they cover a lot of gravel stuff now, and that's a total roadie channel. But Blake, thanks. $1 for the beer fund. It's appreciated. Yeah, I think you have to type in a message and then you do the super chat. Pudgy would know. Yeah. Yeah, Sam, the Fairdale Weekender is like a platform to keep upgrading. Kona Sutra, Brad said. Let me pull that one up. I know that bike, but pull up an image of it. I think one of the problems maybe in Europe too is a lot of the newer gravel bikes that are coming out are like hardcore racing bikes, not bikes that most of us, like as you're saying, like getting older and stuff, want to ride. Nothing wrong with those bikes, but they're a little too. They're just road bikes with clearance. I would rather have a bike that's a little more comfortable. Like I said, steel, a little more relaxed geometry. Uh, oh, here's the Kona Sutra. Hey, what's up, mechanic? Does Marin have good budget options in the gravel sector? Huh. Oh, that's what Paul was saying. Gravel is big. You can get bikes, just not steel. It's pronounced super shet. Did that pop up? That super chat? I don't have any volume on over here. Like he says, when GCN starts covering gravel, you know gravel is dead. Yeah. They're smart. They're moving to where the people are. I mean, it's not like road cycling's ever. There it is.
Pudgy Pedal Pusher super chatted $1.99. I'll bang
That's
your
exactly
face
what
hole
I was
for
asking
beer
for,
money.
Pudgy. It finally popped up. It was just super delayed for some reason. Yeah, what would. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Russ said in that. I only watched the video today. I don't know when it came out, but that he ran into two of the GCN presenters and he told them he had a YouTube channel, and they were just like, whatever. Like I always say about GCN, I don't watch a lot of their regular videos anymore, but I like racing. So GCN Racing and the GCN Plus app and the documentaries and the racing coverage I watch all the time. But yeah, I really like. I watch the racing news show on Mondays, but their main channel anymore, it's like they just rehash the same stuff, or yeah, it's just become less interesting over time. But what is Bike Cat? I don't know what Bike Cat is, Bradley. Bike Cat. Try and Google it. Yeah, it does seem like most of the bike companies that make steel gravel bikes is like their bread and butter are American, right? I mean, you definitely think of Surly and All City, like right off the all the you know, the QBP brands. I'm trying to think of a European brand that makes steel gravel bikes. Is this what we're talking about? Oh, so it's a way to design bike geometry. Bianchi? Does Bianchi make any steel gravel bikes though? I mean, I know they have some nice, like race-oriented carbon ones. Yeah, Salsa has the what's Salsa steel gravel bike? Large or pudgy? Because most of their bikes are more aluminum and carbon, but I know they have a steel one. Genesis makes some pretty cool gravel options. Let's see what... Yeah, I think Salsa has moved away from steel because it's the same same company as All City and Surly, so I think they've all kind of specialized. But yeah, just type in Genesis, like that's gonna work. Isn't Genesis what Common Birds, the band who watches the channel from Colorado, isn't that what they bought? I thought they ordered how they have a titanium bike. These look like steel with carbon forks, don't they? Oh yeah. Yeah, Reynolds. These are Reynolds bikes, chromoly. Those are pretty sharp looking. The Warbird, yeah, Warbird only. I thought the Warbird only comes in carbon now, right? Fargo and the Via are steel. Yeah. Fargo and Via. Hey, what's up, Rusty? It's been a while. The Via is steel. Aren't pounds are almost the same as dollars right now, right? Isn't it pretty much evened out? So that $800 for the frame set would be pretty accurate to what it would cost an American. Yeah, there's an even more affordable one. British company, French name, Croix de Fer. .45 millimeter rear tire, 50 millimeter front tire on 700Cs. Quick releases. It's got all the mounts you could want. These are pretty cool. Oh, euros are roughly the same as dollar right now. There was a while in the last couple years though where the pound and the dollar kind of evened, right? What are you talking about, Rusty? You're looking at Mason in search of? Mason in search of? Let's see. Oh, it's a bike brand. In search of Mason? Are these the names of their bikes? What's going on here? What's up, Russell? Priority bikes? No, I haven't mentioned priority yet, I don't think. These look expensive. 700 by 50 or 650 by 58. Made for miles. These are cool looking bikes too. Yeah, an Exposure Ekar with, well, that's campy, right? 4,250 pounds. Oh, that's right, Rusty, because yeah, you're going overseas for what did you, how many months is it? 18? Oh, yeah, Cheesy Rider was asked, I see what you guys are answering. What's the difference between a gravel bike and road bikes besides tires? Yeah. One thing that's, I want to look, before I forget, I wanted to look up that other brand of bikes, Priority. Yeah. As everyone's saying, like the main difference between a gravel bike is just tire clearance, but historically it has been a slacker, more comfortable geometry. But now with gravel racing becoming so popular, there's a lot of gravel bikes that are pretty much road bikes with wider clearance or closer to cross bikes. So the whole category of gravel is like so wide that there's not really a definition. You know, I think historically people would have been like a slightly slacker bike with wider tire clearance, you know. Um, but anymore, because Yeah, you could get a flat bar gravel bike now, or you could put flat bars on your gravel bike. It's it's a pretty rough It's a pretty wide category. I think in general you're talking about something that's just made to go a little more off road, but yeah, clearance for the wider tires basically. So your limiting factor, cheesy, on any bike is going to usually be your chainstays here. So you just on a road bike, on a classic road bike, you're probably only going to be able to get like 28 or 30 millimeter tires in that pinch point back there, or you'll be limited by the fork. So just how wide the fork is. So if you buy an old road bike, most decent old road bikes, your clearance is going to be super narrow. Uh, Yeah, Paul said the term gravel means something different each week, or they change the term. Like I've always said I like Jan Heine's term, the all road bike, because to me that's what my gravel bike is. It's a bike that can be ridden on any road. It's fine on roads. It's good on most off road stuff. But yeah, and Cheesy Rider, your hybrid. That's why like I said, people have been buying hybrids and putting drop bars on them to make them like gravel bikes. Jay Dandy has kind of done that with his. So the one thing Yonda was saying is some of the older hybrids weren't made to take the impacts that some gravel riding is or can be, you know. So he said you do have to be careful with certain bikes because they might not just be built strong enough. I don't have an opinion on that. That's just what Yonda was saying. So Russell asked, would you more likely put an insert in your gravel tire than your road tire or not? I have friends who have bent rims and are running inserts. I've never had a need for an insert. It's not something I'm going to put in my bikes. I know Dylan tried them too. What did Dylan put it in? Because he had inserts in some of his wide tires on his gravel bike, I think. Sam said Tim shows off the gunner any chance he gets. Yeah. That's the Rock Tour Adventure. So this was Otis's. If you remember, this bike was actually built up, and I borrowed it from Otis I guess, was it spring? It was chilly, but he had big carbon sweep bars on it, whiskey bars, I believe, and super wide tires. I borrowed it twice. I borrowed it last winter when he had drop bars on it, and the way it was built, I didn't like it at all. And then I borrowed it when he had the sweep bars and different wheels and tires on it, and I loved it. And he actually gave it to me to build up. I want to do sweep bars, but I don't have a huge plan. I have a couple parts for it, but I need to get a wheel set and all that, and I don't want to put cheap wheels on it, so we'll see. I'm not in a rush on it at all, so. Huh. Bradley, you said you emailed Gunner 2 weeks ago about the turnaround time on a frame. You might try reaching out to Dirty River because they've been getting gunners. They've been, you guys large have built up like 3 gunners in the last. Now you're building up one right now. When I stopped in there last night, there was a pretty green gunner on the stand. So maybe they could help you out. Pudgy, you're not impressed with Gunner? I know you don't like the way the fork looks with the wider head tube, but the cool thing to me about Gunner is they're affordable American-made bikes, and you could get them as custom as you want them to be. So, put some Panaracer gravel tires on the bike and call it a gravel bike. Hey, what's up, Jasmine from New York City? Master of Disaster said, "What was the thinking behind super narrow chainstays? People weren't. Yeah, people just weren't putting wide tires on bikes for a long time. You got a mountain bike if you wanted wider tires. There just wasn't market for it. Like, for some reason, the road world went from, back in the day, the tires were wider because you had to ride on all kinds of surfaces. And then I think the thinking was rolling resistance and aerodynamics. Like getting into the 90s, like Marco Pantani was riding on 19s on mountain stages, 19 millimeter tires. It's just insane. Tubulars. Like, Pudgy, I still haven't looked up your bars, so I know I'm way behind on everyone's comments again. So, yeah, Doze, I like the Surly corner bars, but I use those for flat bar conversions. So, yeah, so Gunner, for those who don't know, like Schwinn Paramount made all Schwinn's, like, was making Schwinn's high end custom race bikes. Schwinn sold it, and it was the grandson of Richard Schwinn who bought the Paramount workshop. And so Paramounts are still Waterford. They changed the name to Waterford because that's where it is. Waterford branded bikes are basically Paramounts, custom, really nice road bikes, lugged, and all that. And so they started the Gunner brand to do, what is that, air hardened fillet brazed bikes out of steel. And so to have a lower price point and to not kind of mess with the Waterford name because it carries a lot of weight in certain circles. So Gunner is kind of their, non-lugged version. And you could order like a stock Gunner that'll be cheaper, but you could also get a fully custom geometry Gunner as well. So yeah, it's interesting because when you look at road tires, they just like kept narrowing and narrowing and narrowing. And then, like in recent years, what would you guys say, the last decade? They've been getting wider and wider and wider again as people have realized exactly what Jan Hein's been saying, that skinnier tires are not faster after a point because they're causing so much vibration. You're losing vibration to the road you're riding. And so now they're going back and getting wider rims and wider tires because they dampen the road vibration and are technically faster. So to a point where pro riders aerodynamics kick in for all of us. Most of us aren't riding where the tire width is affecting our aerodynamic drag compared to what our bodies are. So, Oh, Pudgy said, Gunner is solid for the bikes. Customer service hasn't been great for you in the past. Huh. I guess I've never dealt with them on a personal level. It's weird. They don't market themselves a lot. Their website looks like a Web 1.0 website and all that. So, yeah, Bradley said handmade American frame for $1,600 is pretty good for sure. What are you talking about, Rusty? Jan Hein makes the best tires on the market. Rene Ayers tires. Makes super cool bikes. They research stuff on a level that almost no one else actually does with Bicycle Quarterly. And we're all riding the bikes that this guy has been promoting for decades. We're all riding the style of bike that Jan Heine has been championing forever. So, Russell says, I wonder how long it would take your average journeyman welder fabricator to make a frame for you if you had a good technical drawing. I wouldn't guess long. I mean, I guess anyone who knows how to weld would, really well would know what they're doing, if you had the right tubing. But that's the other thing, like like butted tubing, they'd have to know to order the right tubing. And I don't know, like when you get the lengths, like all that stuff about the butting of the tubes and stuff like that. I think you'd have to have more technical knowledge than just the geometry to put together a good bike. I could be wrong on that. So, oh, Paul, I missed your comment that you said you ran 18s and they felt fast. That's why skinnier tires were popular for, and they still do. If you pump your tires up really full and go ride on the road, they feel fast. The fact is they're not as fast. Um, that's one of the things they've discovered is humans like stuff like vibration and like shaking like feels like speed to us, but it doesn't actually relate to speed. So hey, what's up, Dimitri? I don't think Jan Hein. Have you ever watched Jan Hein get interviewed live? He doesn't act like he speaks for everybody. He like sits there and listens to like like things other people say. And again, he's one of the person who has championed stuff like running smaller wheels for smaller riders and stuff like that. So, what's up, Andrew? How's it going? Hey, you're totally wrong about Renee Hurster. The no one makes tires as good. You don't have to. I mean, you don't have to agree with his science, which again we all ride because almost everyone here rides wider tire bikes because they are more comfortable and faster and more capable. So you actually do agree with his science. But yeah, you can't argue his tires aren't great. They are great. And everyone who complained at Nutmeg because they ran the super thin, supple casing tires and then got flats, that's on you. He doesn't recommend you run those on rough roads like stuff like Nutmeg Country. So he didn't run them when he raced um, Unbound. So Arthur said, I would like to own a gunner. Had the chance to take a demo home for a couple of days. The ride was smooth and the bike was very fast and comfortable. All right, Dimitri, glad you popped in for a minute. Yeah, I think you're right, Russell. I mean, like, I don't know what, though. I mean, if you copied someone's geometry, I don't know how much your local welder would understand. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah, I mean, when you pay for like a high end custom bike, a lot of it is just in the fact that you're paying for that person's knowledge, right? Hey, what's up, Jason? How could you? John Heine is the Elon Musk of bikes. Like, where? In what? How does that analogy make sense in any way? Like in any way, like that'd be like saying he came in and bought Trek and then ran it into the ground. Then you would have an analogy. Panaracer makes decent tires, but none of the tread pattern is as good as none of their tread patterns are as good as on my Rene Ayers tires. Dos Tacos says 26 by 2.35s all day. Yeah, I think I have two bikes that are 26 by 2.1s. I don't know if my grab dolls are wider than that, but Dylan said switch back from Ultra Dynamico to Rene Ayers recently. And Dylan says Jan has controversial ideas but backs it up by riding his bike a lot and doing a lot of testing. Rusty says he doesn't ride the best kind of bike, the droopy bar mountain bike. Yeah, I don't either. Well, I guess I do have, but they're 90s, so the clearance is almost just like a modern gravel bike. So, now, Paul, you were saying you run 18s were 30 years ago. You run 40C by 700 now. Yeah, I run 42s by 700s on my gravel bike, but that's one thing that's kind of cool about the Gunner is I'll actually have some wider clearance. That fits really, really wide tires. I can't remember how wide, but the Rock Tour has a ton of clearance. I'm not a mountain biker, so that's why I probably like That's probably why I like Reneers. Oh, Bradley, you ran those American Classics at Nutmeg. Yeah, those are they do seem like decent budget tires, but I don't have any personal firsthand experience with them at all. Yeah, and I knows his shit, but you're not. Jay Dandy said, but you're not sure about the planing theory. Um, I don't know. Me and Otis have talked about the planing theory, and I just feel like certain bikes do have that feel. I don't know. Rusty, you're just so off the mark by calling him a pretentious elitist twat if you've ever watched him get interviewed. Like, he could really care less if, like, it's like I've never seen him, like, he doesn't push anything on anybody. Yeah, Rusty doesn't like him because he runs gears. That's the problem. I don't know what the difference between those two things are, Rusty. Like I said, when someone gets like their, I just like what Jay Dandy said, like he's a dude who rides bikes. If he was sitting there writing this stuff and not someone who was out riding all the time, then I would get like the criticisms. But like he's basing it on experience. And I understand what Pudgy's saying, like, but I mean, he could only be the guy he is. So I mean, like, yes, he probably is not the best guy to, if you're a heavier rider, you know, it might not be as relevant. Who is speaking for? I mean, who is speaking for heavier riders? I think Rusty is just trying to yawn your hiney. Sam said single speed is the only way. Andrew said riding in the cold just sucks. Well, we were talking about that at the beginning. For me, it's about, it gets to that point, but I still go out. So Paul said UK gravel is not really gravel. It's more like clay, mud, rock. Yeah. So here's the thing. Like when people say like the US, you have to remember how big the US is compared to like the UK. France is the size of Texas to give you some context of how big the states actually look. So like when I go and ride in Columbus with Dylan and we go on a gravel ride, a lot of the surface is actually dirt, right? If you're out west in the U.S. where they do like big gravel events, that's more like classic gravel. When we talk about gravel here, I just mean anything that's not the road, and that could be anything from chunky railroad gravel to we do have gravel roads out towards like where Large is from, but it just means to me any surface that's not pavement. So I know what you mean in the UK, like watching Francis Cade and stuff. It usually looks like it's more dirt or clay, but that's the same case here. Like all gravel riding is not on gravel roads. It's just that's where the races are held and like kind of gets the most attention and where the name came from. But yeah, that's why I like that term they're using now, the all terrain bike, and or like I said, I like the all road bike as a term. But yeah, when I consider ourselves going, that's why I've been using the term the industrial gravel because it's definitely not the fire roads and that they have out west. It's something unique around here where it's abandoned train tracks and railroad beds and that kind of thing. So, or roads that used to be roads and aren't roads anymore, where the road is disintegrated. Like when we climb up Honeywell, which is an awesome climb right by my house, that was a road 50, I don't know, years ago. And it's definitely not gravel, but it's still kind of packed. So Dimitri, I don't. It doesn't look like we're going to get dumped on the snow that bad. Like the snow belt right under Lake Erie has already gotten a bunch of snow, but here in Akron, like the Akron area, we've only got like not even a dusting yet. It was snowing last night when me and Large were riding, but nothing that was even sticking. So, Doe's Taco said Iowa has the most gravel roads in the U.S. Yeah, gravel is a subjective term. I think when people talk about gravel races, they're going to be on mostly gravel. But when us, just people who have bikes with wider tires, talk about gravel riding, we just mean non-pavement, right? I know what you're saying, Pudgy, for sure. Like, I mean, that's why it was like doing the live stream and having party size on because it was nice to have someone who could speak for a different style rider. I'm like 6'1" and skinny. Like I can't, I my experience is my experience. But I just don't feel like Jan is completely blind to that stuff. But he does talk a lot about what he likes because he's him. Yeah, we were talking about that, Dimitri. They actually, so the Cleveland Browns football team's supposed to play in Buffalo this Sunday, and they already canceled it. So they canceled it today, this morning, because the weather prediction in Buffalo. All right, see you, Dimitri. I'm probably going to get out of here. Oh yeah, it's 10:40. I'm going to get out of here in a minute too, but probably about 5-10 minutes. To just say Schwalbe's are better than Rene Hurst. Like Rene Hurst makes like what, two kinds of tires. Schwalbe makes like what, 20 kinds of tires? Which Schwalbe's? You're gonna run Schwalbe marathons over Hurricane Ridges? Bullshit, you are. Jay Dandy said you've been reading a lot of back issues of Bicycle Quarterly, and Jan has said a lot of the same things going back more than a decade. Yeah, that's so when I met Otis, like I had never even heard the term gravel bike. Like I've said before, I'm someone who loved riding their bike, and then as I started riding more, like later and meeting people like Large and other people, like that's only then that I started to pay attention to like bike culture or what was going on in the cycling world outside of my just getting on my old mountain bike and riding around. Um, but yeah, Otis was like an early follower of all that stuff and was bringing it up and trying to steer us all a little bit in that direction. And a lot of the stuff he talks about, I now agree with, but it's just stuff I just didn't care. And like even doing this stream, like, I wouldn't know half the things I did if you guys didn't bring up bike brands and all that kind of stuff. But now I also ride 7,000 miles a year and do have some valid opinions on certain things that I stand by. Like I said, I do not think I know it all, and I've only been following stuff closely for what, maybe 5 years. But yeah, I do stand by some opinions on certain things because I've put them to the test. Like I think people need to just ride too, but we sit here and we debate every little thing because most of us are a bunch of nerds or trying to learn. So it's fun, you know. This is a cycling channel and we just chat about everything. But yeah, that's still my basic tenet is just ride. I mean, and that was another thing me and Large were talking about. We were talking about the new Crust bike, the Ronnie's bike, the Alumilith, and like stuff like that last night, and the fine details of it. But yeah, when it comes down to it, if it works for you, that's what I've always recommended. If you like your bike and it makes you go out and ride, that's the most important thing there is. But yeah, riding as much as a lot of us ride, you just tend to dial in what you like more and more and more and have more opinions about it. But it doesn't mean I think anyone's an idiot for riding other things. Like Rusty loves single speeds, off-road single speeds. That's probably a kind of bike I'm never going to have. It doesn't mean I think Rusty's dumb for riding them. It just means like that's not appealing to me personally. Like he loves it. Like it's clear, you know. I like my gears, so. Paul asked, Reneers, do they make a tire that's good all rounder in 50s? I believe they do. They basically just name their tires on how wide they are. So I know mine are the Hurricane Ridge because that's what comes in 42. Yeah, so they have a couple 48s. Oracle Ridge, which would be a similar tread pattern to the one I ride. Uh, dude, pop-ups, I hate them. Talked about this last week. 700C by 48 for the Oracle Ridge. Yeah, they do make these slick ones too, which are kind of cool. Yeah, I guess that would be the closest. Then they go up to 2.2, I think. Yeah, the thing that I love about these tires is they look so chunky, and that tread pattern looks like it'd be so slow, and it's just not slow at all on the road. It feels totally comfortable on the road. Yeah, then they sell them in three different casings: standard, extra light, and endurance. And I always run the standard, and haven't had a problem with the standards. But I had cannonballs. I ran cannonballs on my Raleigh right before I switched to the Hurricane Ridge. They were good tires too. They felt fast on the road and they had some traction. They don't have as much off-road traction as the Reneres do, but oh, Pudgy, I saw your comment. Yeah, no hate for Otis, great guy, just very set in his ways to a fault. Yeah, I mean yeah, he's been seriously following the Jan Heine stuff for, like I said, is way longer than I've known him. And yeah, definitely has strong opinions about what he likes. Yeah. And definitely tries to steer a lot of people towards him. And a lot of the stuff I agree with. There's still certain things where I'm like, nah, but yeah. Yeah, and Jay Dandy said riding lets you discover yourself and what works for you. And that's, yeah. And the more you ride, the more you, like I said, the more you're just going to have opinions and dial stuff in. Like, I love my vintage road bikes and I kept building them and I kept getting closer and closer to what I liked. And my vintage Trek kind of like peaked that. But now I'm like, I don't want to ride almost anything with skinny tires anymore. I just never feel like it, rarely feel like it. So, oh, Those Tacos, you said your Iowa comment was probably bogus, but 60% of roads there are gravel. Well, isn't like so much of, isn't a ton of Iowa public land?
Rusty Shackelford super chatted $2. What's up there, Comos? It's me, Bilbo Swaggins.
Gonna come at me like a spider monkey. 700, yeah, 729 are the same rim size, and it's just 29ers are typically what mountain bike companies call them and mountain bikers call them. So usually a wider rim if you're calling it a 29-inch. But yeah, 29 and 700 are the same, and 650B and 27.5 are the same, right? The whole board. Hey, what's up, Brad Z? Did you miss the cartography discussion for the night yet? Yeah, we actually had a map contest. You missed it, Brad. Oh, Brad, you messaged me about some bike parts, and I was on my way to a gig and I forgot to respond. I think those wheels, Brad, are really, really cheap because they're bolt ons. And I'm guessing those forks, vintage suspension forks, are usually, even if they're nice, they're usually trashed. And I'm guessing with no branding, those are pretty cheap. Let's see. Yeah, I'd say that's probably a pass, Brad. So I can't. Oh, my focus isn't working. Yeah, oh well. But I could also text you in person, which I should have done, and I forgot. Tim, don't speak about bikes. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like what for some reason, I maybe it's just because mountain biking is more of an American thing. When you talk about anything mountain biking, they speak in inches, like tire widths, um, and rim sizes, and then road and gravel, everything is in millimeters. I don't know if anyone knows the history of why that's been the case. If I'm right, if it's just mountain biking has been typically an American sport, so or started that way for sure. You know, in California. Is everyone heading to bed? I should head to bed as well. Yeah, it's a good spot to wrap it up. Um, yeah, Cheesy Rider, if you're still here, I'll email you back, get your address to send out your straps. Pudgy got stuff for you. Like I said, new channel members. I got stuff to send out. So hopefully everything will go out tomorrow. Like I said, I do have to head down to the post office area of town anyways. I've got a photo shoot down there. So Buck, hey, what's up? I to say how long it takes to wear out tires is just impossible. Um, like I tend to wear out my Renaers tires pretty quick because they're fairly supple and I ride them on the concrete a lot and I run low pressure. But there are so many factors in how long it's going to take you to wear out a tire. The lower the pressure, the faster you wear them out. Uh, no real answer for that. Rusty, I want to come to Belgium next year to watch some cyclocross racing. That would be awesome. I don't want to race it. I just want to watch it. All right, dudes. Yeah, gonna wrap it up there. I think we'll do a live stream on Tuesday. Obviously, there won't be one on Thursday because that's Thanksgiving in the States. So uh, hopefully everyone's doing something fun, hanging out with their family then. I'll try and make sure one happens on Tuesday, though, since there won't be one on Thursday. So If you can't beat a banana, do you still win a trip to Europe? Nice, Jay Danny. Oh. Well, here comes the coughing, so perfect time to end it. Peace.
Okay. Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this time.
Fitzwater photo.